Hi, you can follow me on Twitter at iChallengeF. So welcome to my second video. I've had a really quiet week on Football Index. I'm generally quite an active trader. I buy lots of players every day, sell lots of players, but I haven't bought anyone out for 6 days. Been really quiet. But the main reasons for that is that I've got my portfolio pretty much set for the new season. So there's not a lot of trades I want to do. I'm quite happy with most of the players I've got at the moment. There's not too much trading I need to do at the moment. So for the past week, even though I've not been doing any trading, I'm up £28 so far from last week, which I'm pretty happy with. I was considering a few pound loss in Pogba as well, but overall portfolio's looking pretty healthy. But I expect to see some big increase in the next month or so as more people get ready for the new season. So this video is going to talk about a strategy, and on the index, as everyone knows, there's lots of different ways of making money. If you read on Twitter, there's massive debates, people blocking each other about PB players, youth players, and the best way to do, well actually no, there's no best way to do it, is what works for you. And personally I'm trying to have quite a diverse portfolio where I've got a mix of youth players and PB players, but at the moment I'll just quick scroll through my players. Most of the players I've got now are generally PB players, looking to get dividends off most of them, but we're all quite young as well. So there's different criteria I'm looking at when I'm buying my players. Fundamentally, I'm looking for value in them. Is the player underpriced? Or sometimes the player might be overpriced, like Sean Longstaff. 171 is probably too much for him as his ability, because links to Man United, his price is inflated, and if Man United make a bid for him in the next couple of weeks, you can see him shoot up to £2 and above really. So Sean Longstaff, he's probably overvalued at the moment, but he has potential to increase further. The main criteria, especially at this point of the season, what I'm looking at is someone who plays in the PB league. They have to play in a PB league at the moment. I'm not interested in buying a player from Championship for 40p or Holland or Portugal who's pretty much going to be dead money for the next 6 months. I'm happy to use my money elsewhere, and then if there's good prospects coming out in January, I'll probably move money into them then, ready for the end of the season and transfer speculation. But at the moment, I'm purely just getting players who are playing the PB league. I've got a good mix of defenders, midfielders and forwards, and majority of my players are focused in Premiership, Germany and France. Another sort of criteria I'm looking at as well, players under 25 years old. I've got Salah and Toni Kroos who are over 25 at the moment, but Salah's 26 and Kroos is 29. They're both solid PB players. They're likely to increase in value during the season, plus they make dividends, so I've got no worries about them. A nice bonus as well is to be playing the Champions League or Europa Cup. More match days, and if you get to the later stage of competition, getting treble match days means more chance of dividends. And the big thing I'm looking at as well is with playing the first team or the in and around the first team squad. Again, I'm not really interested in buying players who aren't really doing anything. They might be 40p and they might break into West Ham's first team next season. I'm not interested in that player. I'll happily sit on him, watch who he is, keep an eye on him, but then in 2-3 months time, if he starts breaking into a team, looks like he's progressing well, he's got potential, and he's increased to 60, 70p at that point, and I can see more growth in him, I'll get on him at that point. I'm not willing to let my money sit into a load of youth players in the hope that they might break into the first team in a PB league in 12 months time. I'd rather make my money work now and then jump on them at a later date. I'll lose a bit of value at that point, but it's a far safer strategy for my instance. So I'll break down the type of player I'm looking at the moment. So where is he? Michael Cousins. Plays for Gladbach. He's someone I've had my eye on for a while. He's one of the first players I wanted to buy in the index. But when I joined up in April, May time, I was trying to sort of structure my portfolio ready for media madness and transfer speculation. So although I knew who he was, I wasn't really looking at putting him in my portfolio then. I expected his price to stagnate through the summer, then buy him around this time, because I think he's got a really big future. Looks like a really, really good prospect, and I think he should get more first team opportunities this year. But over summer he's increased 20-30p, but he's probably overinflated slightly for where he is at his career, but he's a prospect I really believe in. I think he can do some really good stuff. Let's have a look on here. His last season he had 1 start in the Bundesliga, came off the bench 10 times. It's hard to tell what his PB prospects are like, so if I was such a small sample size. See, played centre midfield, played under 20 championship, scored 2 goals. And his characteristics: dribbling, blocking a ball, taking set pieces. He likes to dribble, likes to shoot from distance, likes to play long balls. So he's got good characteristics, taking set pieces. He's got potential to increase his PB scores. There's a lot of stuff I like about Cuisance, and he's probably someone I'm looking at buying in the next couple of weeks. He's got a really bright future ahead of him as well. And where I see the value in him at the moment, he's 97p now. But when I look at sort of similar players to him, looking at these players here, and this is a price range, when I see him establish himself at Gladbach, this is the sort of players I see him competing with in this sort of company. So if he establishes himself in the next few months, he can easily be valued at £1.50 plus. That's a 50% increase, and if he establishes himself and does well, next summer there's going to be transfer speculation, increase in value further. So I don't know, if this is the value I see in him, I really like the look of him. But anyway, that's just a little short video today to talk about how I look at my players and what I'm looking for when I'm buying my players. But I am lacking, I think, in the youth players at the moment. That's one area where I've pretty much got most bases covered in my portfolio, apart from I'm lacking a few youth cheap players who are on the cusp of breaking into the first team. That's something I need to look into a bit more. If you've got any suggestions, leave a comment below or send me a message on Twitter @iChallengeF. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.